Hello, my name is Ben Klaas. I'm here again. I want to talk again this time about the job market and the process of looking for a job, but this time from a bit of a different angle. You see, us humans, we're quite the disruptive species. For some reason or another, we always seem to be upending the existing order, and things therefore are always in flux. This time, 2023, is no different. Yesterday, I made the very stupid or unjustified decision of going online and reading up more about artificial intelligence and asking about what its effects on the job market will be. And I say I made a mistake because reading it got me worried because I'm thinking to myself, either we will be in a paradise for all, no one will have to work, everything will be provided, we can dedicate our lives to leisure and uplifting ourselves and others. And then there's the other scenario where everything just goes to hell and the entire world is devastated with no return in sight. The end of the world, the end of humanity, most likely. So, with those scenarios in mind, it made me think, wow, so there are over 7.5 billion humans on the planet, and right now there is this disruptive technology which has the potential to get rid of the need for millions of jobs around the world that could be totally done or partially done by artificial intelligence, and wondering, why are there so many people? Can we sustain everyone? If we reach 8 billion or 9 billion, will that even be possible? Because assuming that UBI isn't put in place, universal basic income, soon enough, there could probably be the problem of people, millions of people without a job due to the progress of AI or automation, the necessary upskilling framework is not provided or is provided insufficiently. And perhaps some countries might even risk unrest or even civil disturbances. So, with that in mind, what's the future? What's the future job market going to look like? How are people going to adapt to this new reality? And perhaps most importantly, how will people change their perceptions of themselves in light of this? At least for the past century, many people around the world have emphasized as an integral part of their identity the fact that they perform a certain job. They introduce themselves by saying, I am Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. So and so, and I do this particular job at this particular company. There is this disdain held by quite a few people across numerous societies towards people who are not currently in employment, education, or training, aka NEETs. And I'm wondering about this right now because perhaps people will have to change their perceptions in light of recent developments. Maybe it won't entirely be due to lack of agency or laziness that people will find themselves without a job. Heck, it's probably not even the case these days. But the issue could likely be exacerbated in the future as more people find themselves without work. Maybe they have to upskill in order to find jobs that are more compatible within the greater AI economy. And the people might be affected who in the past assigned a great amount of their self-identification towards their career. They had their career as an essential, if not primary, part of their identity. And now their work could be done by a chatbot. So how will they imagine themselves? How will they perceive themselves? What will their self-esteem be based upon? Because I think that there is going to be some form of crisis, an existential crisis that is on the way for some people, because they will have to think long and hard about what is their purpose to society and what is their purpose to themselves. Some pundits say about the upcoming AI revolution that with their additional free time, people will be able to draw, they will be able to read up about philosophy, they will be able to take a simple stroll through the garden whenever they like, and perhaps most importantly, they will have time for the most important things in life, like being with friends and family. But the thing is, assuming that they have the funds to support this, assuming that UBI or a similar measure is implemented on a mass scale, the question is, after that, will people be able to handle it? Because for many people who've spent their entire working lives working at a job in an office or in a factory or in a classroom for 8, 12, maybe even 16 hours a day, how will they adapt to this new reality? How will they feel fulfilled? How will they feel that they are contributing towards wider society and their own self-advancement? My grandmother told me stories about people who retired and what happened to them afterwards. For many of them, the first year or two was quite the positive experience. They could relax, they could take life easy, they could wake up at 11 in the morning, make a nice meal, sit down, read the newspaper, sip their coffee, watch the news, take a walk. But after a year or two, especially for the higher performing amongst them, they were faced with this crisis of purpose. What were they going to do for the rest of their lives? Because for many people, what they did was how they lived. And it became so bad for some people that they eventually lost the will to live, to keep on going, because they didn't have a purpose. Or at the very least, they couldn't find a purpose. And perhaps finding a purpose and finding fulfillment from that is one of the most human things out there. Because even though we are living in an age of great and furious technological advancement, we have to remember at the end of the day that we are merely human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens. And because of that, we have to reconcile our humanity with this changing world. I hope that this video, at the very least, can help someone out there who is worried, who is concerned, who is anxious about the news and about what's happening. I can't really say much to console anyone, but I can say that I'm also thinking about it. And even though I don't know what is going to happen in the next 20 years, 10 years, or even 5 years, I want to keep myself as informed as I can and sort of. I want to keep myself as informed as I can, and I want to fasten my seatbelt so that I can enjoy the roller coaster and hopefully not fall off halfway while heading towards the top. Because I don't want to have to pay for that from my insurance that I might or might not have, considering job security and whether ChatGPT will think it worthwhile to pay for it.